Hey everybody, Ryan from Rhino Hockey Channel here. Alright, gonna go over all the games from the 9th of April. Why was I drawing a blank on the month? 9th of April 2021. Alright, if you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out and helps us be able to do more. So, please hit that subscribe button. Anyways, getting started with the games from the 9th of April. Why am I still stuck on it being May? 2021. Alright, first game, Washington versus Buffalo. Washington wins this one 4-3. Buffalo now on a losing streak again. 2:39 into the first, Brendan Dillon's second of the year from Justin Schultz and TJ Oshie. Then at 11:39, Alex Ovechkin scoring his 21st of the year from Dillon and John Carlson. That 18:26 of the first, Henry Jokiharju scores his third of the year for Buffalo from Rasmus Dahlin. Then at 28 seconds into the second period, Justin Schultz scores his third from Lars Eller. Then at 10:08 of the second, Casey Middlestat scores his fifth from Rasmus Asplund and Rasmus Ristolainen. There's a lot of Rasmus on Buffalo. There's at least three of them. Ristolainen, Asplund, and Dahlin all have the same first name. That could get confusing. Hey, Rasmus. Yes. What? Could get very confusing very quickly. All right, 9:48 into the third, Jakub Vrana scores his 11th from Justin Schultz and Lars Eller. That would end up being your game-winning goal right there. 18:40 into the third, Tage Thompson scores his fourth from Ristolainen, making it 4-3, your final score. Both teams had 33 shots on goal. Buffalo won the faceoff dot, 60-40. Washington was 0 for 1 on the power play. Buffalo 0 for 3. Penalty minutes were 6-2. Washington was 6. Hits were 21-16 in favor of Washington. Blocks 14-12 in favor of Washington. And Buffalo with 5 giveaways to Washington's 3. Vanacek for Washington, 30 saves, 909 save percentage for the win. And Tokarski, 29 saves, 879 save percentage for the loss. On to Pittsburgh versus New Jersey. Pittsburgh won this one 6-4. It's a high-scoring game. All right, 3:01 into the first, Miles Wood scores his 12th of the year from Jesper Bratt and Pavel Zacha. Then at the 10-minute mark of the first, Jared McCann scores his 11th on the power play from Crosby and Rust. Then at 19:13 of the first, Brian Dumoulin scores his second of the year from Cody Ceci and Sam Lafferty. Then at 5:39 of the second, the Devils tie the game. Jack Hughes' 9th of the year from Kuokkanen and Sharangovich. That line seems to be having a lot of chemistry the last few games. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Alright, 17:36 into the second. Colton Sceviour? I can't remember how to pronounce this. Third of the year from Chris Letang and Mark Jankowski. Then at 4:06 of the third, Russ scores his 15th from McCann and Crosby. Then at 10:02 of the third, Crosby's 16th from Gensel and Marino. Then at 11:34 of the third, Jesper Boqvist scores his second of the year unassisted. Then at 18:24 of the third, Miles Wood scores his 13th unassisted, making it 5-4 at that time. Then Russ scores an empty net goal, his 16th from Gensel and Letang, giving you 6-4, your final score. Pittsburgh getting the 2 points. New Jersey actually outshot Pittsburgh 30-27. Beat them in the faceoff dot as well, 51-49. Pittsburgh, though, was 2 for 4 on the power play. New Jersey 0 for 1. New Jersey had 8 penalty minutes to Pittsburgh's 2. Hits were 18-12 in favor of Pittsburgh. Blocks 12-10 in favor of Pittsburgh. And giveaways 8-7, New Jersey with 8. DeSmith had 26 saves for 867 save percentage for the win, and Blackwood had 21 saves for 808 save percentage for the loss. All right, Battle of New York. The New York Rangers versus the New York Islanders. I wish this rivalry would go back to what it was before. They've had some seriously intense battles in the past, and they just don't seem to have that same intensity as they used to. But who knows? Maybe as both of them get to be really good teams, as the Islanders are now, and the Rangers probably will be pretty soon. They're a decent team right now, but they're probably going to be a very good team in the upcoming years. But hopefully we'll get that that intensity back. But tonight, the Rangers win this one 4-1. All right, 6:05 into the first. Alexi Lafreniere scored his 7th of the year from Kakko and Cheadle. Then at 10:01 of the second period, Colin Blackwell scores his 12th from Artemi Panarin and Ryan Strome. Blackwell has done really well since he came over to the Rangers. Never would have guessed he'd get 12 goals on the year. 14:53 into the second period, Islanders get their one and only goal. Andy Green's first of the year. Ironically, that'll probably be his one and only goal as well. I wouldn't be surprised, but possibly could get some more. From Matthew Barzal. At 11:48 of the third, Keandre Miller scores his 4th of the year from Trouba and Panarin. Then 18:48 of the third, Mika Zibanejad scores his 14th, unassisted, making it 4-1, your final score. Rangers getting the much-needed 2 points. Rangers outshot the Islanders 36-32. Faceoffs were even, 50% each. Rangers did not have a single power play in this game. And the Islanders were 0 for 1. Rangers had 2 penalty minutes to 0 for the Islanders. Hits were 21-12 in favor of the Islanders, blocks 16-10 in favor of the Rangers, and giveaways 11-8, 11 for the Islanders. Georgiev had 31 saves, 969 save percentage for the win, and Varlamov 32 saves, 914 save percentage for the loss for the Islanders. Minnesota versus St. Louis. Minnesota is coming off of that, 9-3 or 9-5 victory over the Colorado Avalanche, and the Blues won their last game for the first time in what seemed like forever. Let's see how this one goes. Excuse my silence there, but that is a major league slapping that you see on the screen right there. That is, whew. Minnesota has to be upset with themselves right there. 9-1. St. Louis won this game. So the Wild go from scoring 9 goals against Colorado to allowing 9 goals against St. Louis. A team that had struggled. This is probably more goals than they've had in the last at least 5 games for St. Louis combined. So that's incredible right there. 1:32 into the first period, Zach Sanford's 9th of the year from Robert Thomas and Tyler Bozak. At 6:59 of the first, Jaden Schwartz scored his 3rd from Tarasenko and Dunn. Then at 7:33, Minnesota gets their one and only goal, making it 2-1 at the time. Prize's 4th from Soucy. And St. Louis just took over with the scoring. 15:23 into the first, Schwartz scored his 4th, 2nd of the game, from Brayden Schenn and Torrey Krug. Then at 16:53, Sammy Blais 5th from Falk and Perron. Then at minute 09 into the second, Ryan O'Reilly's 14th of the year from Blais and Falk. Then at 4:39 of the second, O'Reilly scores his 15th, 2nd of the game, unassisted. Then 8:19 of the second, Falk scores his 6th of the year from Thomas and Bozak. Then at 10:17 of the third, O'Reilly completes the hat trick, his 3rd of the game, 16th of the year, from Jake Wallman and Sammy Blais. Then at 17:39, Ivan Barbashev adds his 3rd of the year on the power play from Krug and O'Reilly. O'Reilly with 4 total points, I believe, in this game. Yep, 4 points for him in this game, including the hat trick. A lot of guys on that St. Louis team broke some snides in this game, because 9 goals is pretty hard not to get people off schnides at that point. So St. Louis definitely coming out of it, and coming out real hard. They really took it to Minnesota today, and they outshot them 38-25. Beat them in the face-off, down 55-45. Power play is 0 for 2 for Minnesota, 1 for 2 for St. Louis. 4 penalty minutes each. Hits were 18-7 in favor of Minnesota. Blocks 15-9 in favor of St. Louis. Giveaways 14 each. Kakkonen, the rookie goalie, left in there for all 9 goals against. 29 saves, 763 save percentage. He must have pissed off the coach, because most coaches won't leave rookies in to take that many goals against. Because you want to talk about shooting someone's confidence, that could do it. Could also cost you a Hall of Fame goaltender if you're Montreal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at Patrick Waugh's last game for Montreal against Detroit. Not far off from that. Really not. Binnington's I'm not saying Kakkonen is Patrick Waugh. I'm just going to say that, but I'm just saying that's the sort of things that can happen when you leave a goalie in for 9 goals against. All right, Binnington, 24 saves, 960 save percentage for the win. And really probably wasn't even that hard. He probably could have let in like 4 more goals and it probably would have been fine. It would have been fine, but it also could have changed things, but still. Nice to see Binnington getting back on it. Maybe that could help the St. Louis team get back into this race, because I believe they are now 1 point behind, what's their names? Arizona, who does play later tonight, so we'll see how they do. Speaking of Arizona, right there. Arizona versus Vegas. Arizona did not get points tonight. 7-4, they lost to Vegas. 3:03 into the first, Jonathan Marchessault scores his 11th of the year on the power play from Max Pacioretty and Shea Theodore. That 4:41 of the first, William Carey his 4th from Nicholas Watt and Ryan Reeves. That 6:59 of the first, Keegan Kolesar scores his 2nd of the year, unassisted. That 8:44 of the first, Riley Smith's 8th of the year, shorthanded from William Karlsson. Yikes. Coming out of the first period, Vegas is up 4-0. Generally, you don't get much of a chance against Vegas if they come out that hard against you. 4:10 into the second, they expand that lead to 5-0. This will eventually be the game-winning goal. 4:10 into the second, Chandler Stevenson's 8th of the year from Mark Stone and Braden McNabb. Then Arizona finally gets one. 19:07 into the second, Nick Schmaltz's 10th of the year power play goal from Alex Goligoski and Connor Garland. Then Arizona comes out pretty quickly in the third to make it a close game. 2:42 into the third, Dryden Hunt's 3rd from Phil Kessel and Jakob Larson. I'm sorry, no, that's not Jakob Larson, that's on Anaheim. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be Johan Larson. Sorry about that. 3:40 into the third, Clayton Keller's 12th from Kessel and Dvorak. That point making it 5-3, a more respectable score. But at 9:44 of the third, Riley Smith scores his 9th of the year, 2nd of the game, from Karlsson and Marchessault. Then 9:59, Arizona makes it a 2-goal game again, making it 6-4. Michael Bunting's 5th from Phil Kessel and Nick Schmaltz. Then 19:05 of the third, Pacioretty, I misspelled that, I forgot the O. Pacioretty's 19th from Stevenson and Alex Pietrangelo. Make it 7-4, your final score. Alright, Vegas outshot Arizona 37-26. Beat them in the faceoff dot 51-49. Both teams 1 for 2 on the power play, 4 penalty minutes each. Although Arizona beat them in the hits department 43-25. It's not often you see Vegas get out hit that hard. That much, I should say. Not that hard, but yeah, that's usually not that often. Blocks 19-12 in favor of Vegas, and giveaways 7-4, Vegas with 7. Hill had 27 saves for 844 save percentage. Prosvetov had 3 saves on 4 shots against for a 750 save percentage. And Leonard had 22 saves, 846 save percentage for the win. Leonard wasn't great, but it was good enough to get that victory. On to Colorado versus Anaheim. The team that I believe Vegas tied with that win, if I am correct. I could be incorrect, though. So, Vegas playing for that first place spot. And they get the 2 points they needed. 2-0. Colorado beats Anaheim. 17-12 in the second, Valerie Nichushkin's 9th of the year from Ryan Graves and Tyson Jost. Then at 19:26, Mikko Rantanen scores an empty net goal, his 23rd from Nathan McKinnon. That's all you're scoring. Colorado outshot Anaheim 35-28. Faceoffs were 52-48 in favor of Anaheim. Power plays 0 for 3 for Colorado, 0 for 2 for Anaheim. Penalty minutes 6-4, 6 for Anaheim. Hits were 26-15 in favor of Anaheim. Blocks 12-8 in favor of Anaheim. Giveaways 14-10, Anaheim with 14. Granted, Colorado won this game. Anaheim actually looked very good in this game, and John Gibson did really well in this game too. So did Colorado's goalie Johansson. He had the shutout, 28-save shutout, so nothing to complain about from him for this game. His previous games were not the best, but tonight he looked good, but it was Anaheim. They're probably the worst offensive team in the league. If not, they're very dang close. But anyways, still a shutout, doesn't matter. I mean, the shutout, his record is not going to reflect against a terrible Anaheim team that he got the shutout. No one's just going to say one shutout, so there you go. Gibson, 33 saves, 971 save percentage. He made a couple of really good goal line saves from pucks that went behind him that he was able to sweep away. So he had a really good game. Unfortunately, the Nichushkin goal, he did give up, which was the only one they needed, and then they had an empty netter. So that's how it is, but hey, both goalies had great games. All right, LA versus San Jose. San Jose, first game since they got shellacked by the Ducks of all teams, after winning numerous games against much better teams. But still, they were playing LA, a team they have dominated this year because LA cannot seem to score against San Jose. And that continued. 5-2, San Jose beat them tonight. Alex Iafallo actually started the scoring for LA, his 10th of the year at 2:27 of the first from Dustin Brown and Andrzej Kopitar. At 8:01 of the first, Kevin LeBank's 10th from Brent Burns and Mario Ferraro. Then at 13:50 of the first, Patrick Marleau's 4th from Burns and Sorensen. Then at 17:17 of the first, Rudolph Balcers scored his 6th from Meyer and Carlson. Then at 9:19 of the second, Curtis McDermott fights Jeffrey Viel. Then at 17:38 of the second, Marcus Sorensen fights Andreas Athanasiou. I can't imagine that was a great fight, but you never know. All right, minute 02 into the third, Jared Anderson Dolan scores his 6th of the year unassisted, making it 3-2 at the time. Then at the 17-minute mark of the third, Dylan Gambrell scores his 4th shorthanded from Evander Kane and Brent Burns. 18:41 of the third, Tomas Hertl scores his 12th of the year from Evander Kane and Logan Couture, making it 5-2 your final score. And at the 20-minute mark of the third, Sorensen and Athanasiou fight again. They really must not like each other. It seems like Sorensen is a talker, so I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised it's Athanasiou, of all people, that he got to go with him twice. Anyways, so I'm just going to clarify this. I can't watch Sharks games anymore. I have Dish here at home, and their local channel is unavailable to me because I live in their area, so I cannot watch it because it is blacked out on any other channel. So unless it's on the national feed, that is the only time I'm going to be able to watch Sharks games from here on out. Unless it changes, which it could, but I don't see that changing at this point, considering NBC Sports is no longer going to be carrying the Sharks games after this year. It'll be, what's their names? Or no, actually, they may be working out a local channel deal still. They haven't announced that one yet, so that may still be a possibility. But still, for now, not going to be able to watch them, so sorry about that. All right, LA outshot San Jose 34-29. They beat them in the faceoff dot as well, 58-42. Both teams 0 for 3 on the power play, 23 penalty minutes each. San Jose out-hit LA 23-18. Blocks were 15-11 in favor of San Jose. Giveaways 10-9, San Jose with 10. Pearson had 24 saves, 857 save percentage, and Jones for San Jose getting the win, 32 saves, 941 save percentage. Alright, there were 2 trades today. They were mostly minor trades. Well, not minor league, but just minor retooling type of trades. Riley Nash of Columbus was traded to Toronto for a conditional 2022 7th round pick. Now, I couldn't find out what the conditions were. I'm sure they're out there. I couldn't find them. Riley Nash is going to be a good, solid 4th line pickup for them. So that's probably a good pickup for Toronto, giving them a little bit of forward depth, which does not hurt. So I think that'll be a good, solid pickup. Then you have Patrick Nemeth being acquired by Colorado from Detroit for a 4th round pick in 2022. Now, that one could be a good one that adds some defensive depth, especially since Bowen Byram was put on the COVID list, I think they said today, for Colorado. Now, I know they were searching for a bigger fish, so I'm not sure if that's the only defensive trade they're going to make. It may be, but as of right now, that's who they have as their extra defender. So, not a bad one. Nemeth has had a good year for Detroit, but I mean, having a good year for Detroit is not exactly saying a whole lot. I mean, that's like saying someone on Anaheim's had a good year. Great, they're still a terrible team. So it's not surprising you have a good year. It's not hard to do when you get extra time that you normally wouldn't with our teams. But Nemeth is a good, solid depth defender, so I think that's going to be a good pickup, and it'll help them in case of injury, especially with Eric Johnson still seeming to be out for the foreseeable future. So those were the two trades that were announced today. We'll see what's coming on Monday when the trade deadline hits. Hopefully it'll be exciting, but I don't hold out much hope that it's going to be super exciting like years past. Alright, other than that, that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Helps get the channel out there more, because the more likes we have, the more YouTube will put out the videos so when people search, and then also the subscribes don't hurt either. So hit those buttons and make sure to comment, share, and I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.